Hello everyone, Cho Builder here. Time for another video from the depths. So today I want to showcase a build. It's a bit older. It's more of a fun build than anything super practical to be used in the campaign. Although not all of my builds need to meet certain standards, so it is still usable in the campaign, but probably not on a very hard difficulty. And we will be showcasing what this uh, creation is. Um, I give you guys a few seconds to guess, and then we'll be showing some combat testing and just show all the features and how it's built. Again, it's more of a fun build, so no, it's not the most meta craft. Um, I hope you guys will enjoy. So now let's have a look what this thing is. Yes, basically it's a front side thruster craft with legs strapped on and some guns uh, on a lot of spin blocks. Yes, the irony of a robot piloting a robot. And it's got a hoverboard. The hoverboard isn't strictly required. It does give it better strategic movement. There's a few variants of this robot that have created. It's called the Austere Piety light infantry unit. The Elite 2 is a variant, which is specialized in taking down helicopters and fighter jets and other mechs of its size, and the size being 65, 66k of material. So very much a starter unit. Again, it is the light infantry, which is meant to be kind of a early game disposable unit. Um, Again, like as you expect from this type of armor scheme, it cannot possibly be very strong, not the most super meta combatant in the fleet. The cockpit here is pretty bare minimum, but it is accessible. Like, it is possible for the avatar character to hop in and out like a real cockpit. It is not fully like just a chair in one block of space and you can't get out kind of deal. It is called the Austere Piety because there's a very contrived naming scheme and lining up for this mech and a bunch of future mechs, and I want them all to start with A. And try very hard to have a set of names that work together, not just for this one. Even though the future mechs haven't been built yet. The next one has actually been built, the second in the series. It's about 100k, 150k. It serves another role as kind of a escort frigate unit in the fleet. Um, and it's also a fast response anti-aircraft unit. Uh, yeah, these builds are needlessly complicated, but they're fun to play with. The third one I have not built yet. Um, it should be a cruiser level unit of about 500k and should be able to take on similarly leveled cruisers in this game. So right now, the first and second mechs do not use any cheats or exploits, but the cruiser mech will definitely need to use exploits. It should have the combat performance equivalent to a Gundam, as you would see in the animes, um, which is quite difficult to achieve with just how from the depths machines are designed. Uh, just how much volume they need. So definitely will need to use some spin clipping for the Gundam. The name, which I will not reveal, and then the fourth unit, the final mech, that's also a secret for now. That one will take probably 100 hours to complete, so it's gonna be a while until you see it, or before I even start working on it. There's a few other projects I have lined up, so we will show some combat testing, and then I can try and explain what all this crafting side is. So first, this whole combined system is about, uh, yeah, this is the total cost of the combined unit, hoverboard, and the mech. We can showcase against something easy, like the Flounder. So there's two biggest threats really in this game. One is missiles, and the other is railguns. But because the campaign is designed to not, just totally, um, sorry, I'm distracted by this fight. The campaign is designed to not totally uh, curb stomp newer players. There's not really a lot of super scary railguns in the cost bracket of less than 200k. So the second biggest threat to a small unit like this would be missiles. So I made sure there's an excessive amount of missile interceptors and missile defense, which happily also work against crams of at this cost level. And then obviously there's a decoy, which is again more useful for unit of this size than larger units. There's a lot of evasion going on as well. And then finally, there's a ACB system that will redock it with a hoverboard, even though hoverboard is not strictly required for this series of mechs. Although for this particular one, because it's an elite unit using a lot of particle cannons, um, it it is actually fully dependent on the hoverboard for energy generation. Uh, As you can see, it is pretty much just the torso is a thruster craft, and then the legs are dangling from it. There are thrusters in the legs, but mainly they help with roll and pitch stability rather than keeping it upright. So yeah, that handle this little wooden ship very easily, as you probably expect. So you can see it performs. Ouch. Well, I guess the shield did its job. Oh, should just turn that off. Yeah, so for a unit like this, they are they are a bit um, repair hungry, as you expect for this kind of very rudimentary armor scheme. So if you use it outside of your control territory in the campaign where you cannot normally repair, it could be, a bit of an issue. Um, if you just package everything that's on here into like a very narrow profile front sider, you can do a lot more, but it's fun and does its job. So here we see the laser unit, which is designed to fight against those Hake Squadrons, which is a enemy you might see a lot early game just due to their speed and low cost from the Steel Striders. And they're quite annoying just due to how much evasion they have. Um, this is very cheap for a laser arm unit, but please don't dunk into the water. So one of the main advantages of this mech design is that the guns can be easily swapped. Um, yes, you can potentially equip different weapons on it, just like uh, real mechs, or not real mechs, but mechs you see in certain anime and game franchises. That's one of their main selling points is modularity. Oh boy, that is some dizzying acrobatics right there, or aerobatics. Well, again, this dedicated laser unit has taken down the Hake Squadron. I never really understood why they're called Hake, or Hake. I think Hake is a fish, so I don't know why the Steel Striders would name their planes after a fish, if they're not intended to be in the water, but maybe they are. Right here, this is a double enlistion unit, armed with larger missiles. Let's see how it does against. It only costs, well, 70k. Let's see how it do against this Prowler. Again, just canceling out a lot of this missile firepower from the Prowler. It's equipped with two HESH cannons, a bunch of barrage missiles, and the EMP particle cannon. Well, it looks like one of the cannons has been knocked out by EMP. Actually, two of them. So that rocket turret is still firing. Well, this one I'm a bit afraid to show off because it's very, very much hit and miss with this kind of melee weaponry. So here we can see this is a bit of a bulky target. So we have lost some of the ramps on our spear, but hopefully it can still do the job. It seems like you have lost a weapon controller. Yeah. Oh, it's been repaired. And you have been AI deaded by your own EMP missile, I think. Yeah. So this unit was built by before the recent EMP changes. Um, so it's quite much reliant on the heavy armor to absorb the EMP, but now heavy armor does not absorb EMP anymore. It's got AI right next to heavy armor, so it can just die after one EMP strike. Although recently the PIDs have been removed as well, so it frees up space for another surge protector next to the AI, which slightly mitigate the problem, but without rebuilding the whole thing, there's no real practical way to um, alleviate the EMP issue. Just trying to see if there's space in the back here that can house the AI, but um, the front armor is just one layer of heavy armor with a bit of an air gap, really half a layer, and one layer of alloy. It's pretty much bare minimal armor for the AI, to be honest. So, um, yeah, not a lot of other places to put the AI, unfortunately. So, let's have a look what's inside. You got the ejection stick engine, which is not great. Um, I think if I were to redo this with the boat experience I have now, I'll probably use a custom jet engine. Um, or you might call it a gas turbine. This is a bit extra processing cards, which controls these two missiles up front. It's a heat EMP missile. So at the low cost early game level, you're expecting enemies under 100k. EMP heat missiles are absolutely the best. And then when you get into bigger enemies, are more of a support type missile, uh, good at disabling components, but they will not be able to kill a larger enemy. And then here it's got two different behaviors, high and low. So low, it will just hover above sea level, whereas the high one, it will attempt to match altitude with a higher level target. The ACBs control switching between the two behavior modes. And it's got the shield with a shield generator on the actual physical shield. Uh, got the weapons, air compartment, and the engine. Might be wiser to actually swap spots between the AI compartment and the engine, but uh, even then, this is only producing 10k power, so it's not that much. But yeah, I do want to have quite a bit of power just so that it can be quite evasive. If you look at all the Gundam and just mecha enemies, a lot of the robot units are indeed quite weak, and they do rely a lot on evasion and agility to survive in combat. And here you can see I put the counter missile interceptors in the size, just so that there's not really a lot of other important components that can go into the side, and if the legs get blown off, we're not really losing a lot of functionality. Put some batteries, put ammo in there as well. So again, if that gets blown off, it doesn't actually affect the main craft. I'm normally used to building just very compact frontsiders. I always put ammos in the back, basically similar to Cobalt style. Just protect things as much as you can by putting everything in front of it. But in a style like this, it's kind of the opposite. You kind of want things to get blown off and not affect the rest of the craft. These uh, again, ammo just spread out everywhere in the shins as well, and then you got the so basically all the missile defense is in the legs. Um, it's kind of disposable. The arms are really skinny. There's nothing in the arms, unfortunately. Yeah, it's just decorative. Got 3-hole spin blocks for the shoulder. Yeah, yeah, got these huge thrusters for the side-to-side evasion. So here's the whole family. There's a few more other variants, but yeah, you can see a bunch of different ones here. Just had a lot of fun playing with the modular design, but in the end, once I noticed some design feature on one of them, I want to kind of, or rather with the core unit, I kind of want to update. Then it just become a nightmare to update all of these variants. So there's uh, yeah, the advantages and flaws of having a lot of modular design, a lot of variants like this, unfortunately. So there it is. Thanks for watching, everyone. Uh, and the reward for watching all the way till the end is this is a preview of the next mech unit. But I will not be doing this video next. I will be doing some more practical units. It's basically what I got in the queue, and we'll be doing this a bit later. Have a great day.